Mr. S Gurumurthy, editor of Tughlak. Sir, it's a huge political face-off that is happening over the Chidambaram temple. What do you make of the government's defense so far that they are protecting the rights of devotees? Devotees shouldn't be stopped, even if for a day.
You see, you must go to the origin of the Dravidian and DMK ideology. They used to openly declare in 1950s and 60s that the temple of Srirangam and Chidambaram should be blasted with mortar fire. They had a special hate for this temple. And they had a special hate for the dikshitars, who were the only people who were maintaining the overall management and the rituals and also the traditions of the temple. No one else knows about what is the tradition of the temple. They only know it. And they were not part of even the larger Brahmin community. They are a very small subset of the Brahmin community, maybe about 2,000-3,000 in number. So they could very easily be targeted. And you have been targeting this for the last 70 years. This is the first point. So you could never come to terms with the existence of this temple. You wanted it mortar blasted. This is the first point. Second point is, this is the only temple which has been kept out of the control of the HRNCE department by the Supreme Court. Something which they could never accept. How can a temple be beyond our control? So for 5-7 years, from 2013, it has been going all right till 2021. So for how 2021 became the break point for all things, wrong things happening in the temple. The same HRNC department was there. Same devotees were there. No devotee complained. There was no Dalit or other Harijan people being ill-treated. You can always make up. You are the police power. You are the government with you. And they are minority of minorities. And so you can cook up any case against them. But their target is to ensure that this temple incurs such bad name. To ensure that even the Supreme Court will think twice whether they have done the right thing or not. But I can tell you one thing. The Supreme Court has recognized the special nature of the temple. And even the allegations which they made, financial irregularities, they have got to go to the Supreme Court and tell them these are the financial irregularities. And they have to have an independent assessment done by someone who is impartial. Your police cannot do it. Your HRNC department cannot do it. Second, you are making some allegation that there has been some girl who has been married who is not of age. And what kind of thing you do finger test? The governor has written about it. So that shows your intent. Your intent is to bring the dikshitars to disrepute and condemn them without any hearing.
But Mr. Gurumurthy, if I can just interject for a second. On the 5th of June 2023, there were videos that were circulated which allegedly were from the Chidambaram Nataraja Temple and which showed, in fact, the Cuddalore police then subsequently conducted an inquiry into it also, and this video showed that young girls, minor girls, were indeed being married. That's why the DMK government says that inside the temple there are illegal practices taking place.
Okay, punish them. How can you take over the temple? Let us assume an illegal practice takes place in a mosque. Will you take it over? In a church, will you take it over? The day before yesterday, there was a huge clash in a church between two groups of Christians. A DMK MLA was involved. You take over the administration of the church. You punish them. Anyone who is doing irregularity anywhere, whether he is in a temple or mosque or gurdwara, must be punished. Even army could be sent, provided the scale of illegality is that you can always punish people under law. Why do you go and take over the temple? Send some police and ask them to ascend to the platform where you are not supposed to ascend during a particular period. And it is a small platform in which not more than 30-40 people can stand. And there are thousands of devotees who would like to climb on that. There will be stampede if you allow it. You must go to the temple to see why that regulation is needed.
The allegation again is, here is the counter allegation, that the restriction on access is not based on safety concerns. It is based on the caste of people, and only upper caste people or people who have money are being given restricted access.
I must tell you, even politicians of all castes have been allowed. How do you categorize this? They are also upper caste. Ministers have been allowed, MLAs have been allowed, MPs have been allowed. Do they belong to any caste? See, you can make any allegation. All ministers have gone. There are Nedunjayan, one of the famous ministers of DMK, he was given vibhuti and he threw it like this. He was also on the stage. He was not a Brahmin. You go there only to desecrate the temple. Okay, you are allowed because you are in position, you are a big man, you are a minister, you are an MLA. But to allege that only Brahmins are being allowed is an atrocious allegation. Yeah, I have myself seen all kinds of people climbing on because they belong to the government or this party or that party or MP or MLA.
Mr. Gurumurthy, I want to play out what Mr. Shekhar Babu said, because he was commenting on the state of affairs and how the priests inside are behaving. He says that they have become a law unto themselves. I just want to play out what he said earlier.
தீட்சிதழ்ன்றவளே பிரச்சனை தான். தீட்சிதழை பொறுத்தளவில் சிதம்பரம் திருக்கோயிலில் ஒரு அதிகார மையத்தை ஏற்படுத்தி கொண்டு செயல்பட்டு கொண்டிருக்கின்றார்கள். நம்மை பொறுத்தளவில் வழிபாட்டு முறைகளில் என்ன ஆதிகாலம் தொட்டு வழிபாட்டு முறைகள் பின்பற்றப்படுகின்றதோ அதில் துளியளவு கூட இந்து சமய அறநிலையத்துறை தலையிட்டு வழிபாட்டு முறைகளை மாற்றுகின்ற எண்ணம் இல்லை.
How do you respond to that? He's saying that dikshitars have become the main problem.
Yeah, they must go and tell the Supreme Court, gentlemen, you have given the dikshitars the right to administer. This is what they are doing. How can you interfere with the order of the Supreme Court, which has entrusted a set of people that you will only administer the temple and the government will not interfere? And the government has any complaint, it has to go to the Supreme Court. Gentlemen, you have done this. It is a law-abiding, a sincerely devotee-loving government will do this. But your idea is not that. You wanted to blast the temple 70 years ago. Your history is that. Can you cosmetize yourself by saying some legal things today? We are in Tamil Nadu, we have experienced them. We continue to experience them. So it is not possible for the media sitting in Delhi to understand what's happening in Tamil Nadu. What is their history? What is the talk that what is the language that they use against gods, against the Brahmins, against Hindus, against the nation? It's part of all this is changing. There is a huge shift towards Hindu temples, worship, gods. But politics has not changed in Tamil Nadu. Society has changed. The DMK is playing its fire, and I don't know when they are going to get blasted in return.
The argument could also be that if so many temples across Tamil Nadu are now being managed by the HR and CE department and they are being managed okay, why should Chidambaram temple, if we leave aside the Supreme Court judgment for a minute, be made an exception? It will just be a smoother regulation of temple affairs. After all, across the country, irrespective of parties, whether it be Congress government, BJP government, DMK government, most of the temples are regulated or run by the government. Why not Chidambaram temple?
You see, it is an abstract term to say most of the temples are being managed or supervised by temples. Even in the communist Kerala, there is a people participated management model. In Karnataka it is, in Andhra it is. Only in Tamil Nadu it is completely political party led. Political party leaders are appointed as the trustees. People who abuse God are appointed as trustees. People who are crooks are appointed as trustees. There have been looting of the temples. And you say they are all well managed. The people can't do anything because the devotees do not manage the temple. They always think that government manages the temple. They go and quietly worship and come back. There is no organized resistance to the way the temple is being mismanaged by the Tamil Nadu HRNC department, particularly from 1967. And so it does not mean the other temples are being well managed. Another thing about Chidambaram is only this, the tradition is that it is these people who are the protectors of the deity. It has been accepted by the entire Saiva Siddhanta tradition. That is why the Supreme Court refused to interfere with that. If they are doing anything wrong, they have to be corrected. You cannot bring an alternate, you cannot bring another set of people and do the worship because they do not even know how to do the rituals. They don't know the history of the temple. And it is not for politicians anyway to say who should worship, who should conduct the rituals. And the Supreme Court has been very clear. In Agama temples, the worship has to be in the manner in which it has been going on for generations. There you can't touch. Even apart from the Nataraja Temple, other Agama temples also. I think this whole thing is an alibi to desecrate the temple, to bring the dikshitars who are very disciplined people into disrepute. They may have some social practice which you may have to correct. You may even have to punish. But that does not mean that you can rob them of the right to manage the temples which the Supreme Court has given to them.
Because the right to practice your religion freely is equally available to every single denomination, religion, people, irrespective of their caste and social standing. Well, that's real secularism. Thanks very much, Mr. Gurumurthy, for joining us with your wisdom. Thanks very much, viewers, for watching.